Hey guys, welcome back to our e-classroom on Lean Six Sigma. I'm your e-guru and we'll do some fun learning, e-learning today with one of the tool, very important tool, Histogram. It's one of the 7QC tools. Let me tell you a bit of 7QC tools and then we'll move into histograms. So what happened was after World War II, when Japan economy was down, Edward Deming from US, he was an economist and a great statistician. He was sent to Japan to improve the economy. At that time, what happened is there were too many tools that were coming up of stats and many were confused. So Kaoru Ishikawa, whom is known for cause and effect diagram, he proposed that okay, 7 tools, these would be the best one and easier one, and using these most of the projects can be completed. So we have already covered Pareto chart in our last video. We'll be covering up histogram today. So histogram, it was introduced by Carl Pearson. He has also done great works in scatterplot. Not going deeper into it, we'll go into histogram. When I take you further into histogram, I'll give you an example of a local restaurant. What happens usually after finishing meal or any snacks there, you pay the waiter for his services a small tip. So what I did is I collected some data of different people who came to the restaurant and what tips they gave. On the left hand side of the screen, you can see that I have arranged the data in whatever manner I got. What we do is we make a histogram out of this. You can see that amount 10 or rupees 10, how many times was it given? It's 13. So otherwise you will have to count it like this. So histogram is made by Minitab is easier for you. Don't worry, we'll be teaching you this once we have finished up with the presentation. So in histogram, things to understand: before, when you got this data, what you will do is you'll look for mean, right? But mean might not always be the right thing to do. We have calculated mean, we have seen it, mean is here, but also we need to focus on is for such a data is median, right? So what I do in case of median, I will arrange the data that is available here in ascending or descending order. So what I did is I did it in ascending order. So calculating median would be at the centermost point of the data points. Here it's 50 data points, so finding the exact center, I mean from where on the left and right equal numbers are there, it might be difficult because 25th and 26th, in between these two would be the center, right? So I have selected the 25th point and 26th point. Between these two is 20 plus 20 by 2, so median will be 20. In case the data points are 51, so our n would be 50 plus 1, 51. So finding a median, what we will do is 51 plus 1 by 2, so that will give us as 26. So the 26th letter in ascending or descending form would be our median when our number of data points are odd. In our case it is 50, so it's even. We focus on these 2 points, sum up and divided by 2 is the median, right? This is how Minitab will do it. We'll understand what mode is. So the data that has been represented the maximum number of times is usually the mode. You can see 10 is the mode. It has been represented 13 times. Now let's go and understand a bit more about histogram spreads. Sometimes a histogram, you can see it like this. In our case it was just the opposite, right? We will deal it later. So a left skewed histogram. This means that data points on the left hand side would be lesser and suddenly it will start rising up. So this is a type of skew. We call it negative skewed or left skewed. It tells us that majority of the data are located towards the right side. Now the right skewed. In case of right skewed graph, it's just like a mirror image of left skewed. So here data points start gathering up and the lesser number of data points are found on the right side and more on the left side. An example of left skewed graph is when you plot lipid profile, I mean the cholesterol content of people in India. It's seen that it's growing diabetic, and many people are having a lot of heart diseases. So when you see the cholesterol content, so it would be like this, more number of people would be on this side. Opposite example, we just did it for waiters and tips. You could find a right skewed histogram. This is a normal symmetric histogram or unimodal because there would be only one mode. You'll understand more about how many modes can be there, right? You see here is an example of a bimodal graph. So how do we identify mode? So when data distribution is there, you see and look for a hollow pit. How many are there? So before the or after the hollow pit, the highest touching point would be one mode, and this is the other mode. You see a multi-mode. There are three modes here. One pit here and one pit here. Now we'll see some examples of where histogram has been used. So it's been used in many places, and finding compressor deviation in bus fleet, and in tablet compression presses you can see for Fete, Sejong, GEA, GR. So what happens on the screen, you can see that they display how many tablets, the thickness of the tablet is passing through a histogram continuously. So by seeing that, you can just adjust whatever the weight variation or thickness variation can happen in your machine. Yeah, it's a bit of surprise, right? It's used also in digital photography. It suggests like which area would be having lesser light, more shadows, the light is blown out, etc., etc. This is a sunflower and a histogram of the image. It's calculated using with the pixel. So more details, we'll get back to Minitab and learn more. In Minitab, I'll be explaining you how we make a histogram. Minitab has a very good help menu. So what you can do is you go to graph and click on histogram. Takes some time to load. Yeah, it's quick. So you can go here and click on this help. What this tells you is, from here you can go and click on example and we'll do a simple histogram. Here it will tell you where to go. This worksheet cap.mtw. Now I'll tell you how to open that worksheet. Just go click cancel, go to file, you can come up and click open worksheet. You see something here, look in Minitab data, sample data folder. Minitab has provided your sample data, so you need not worry about those things. Just click here. You need to go to C cap. So this is cap. I'll click open. See the column C1, some data regarding torque is available, so we will make a histogram of the same. We'll go back, click on graph, come back to histogram, and we'll make a simple plot. So click there, double click there, graph variables, so we'll click on torque and click select. So torque comes up here, we'll click OK. Boom, the histogram is ready for you. What changes you can make in the histogram? There's something called as bins, or the buckets in between the data or the frequency data is arranged, right? So click on it, you see there are some white square boxes coming in. That means the axis is selected. Double click on it. In this dialog box you can go to binning. Here you can select how many intervals you want. If you want 20, delete 15, click on 20 and click OK. You see the number of bins here, they got changed. If you want data below every bar, then what you can do is once again go there and click double, go to binning, come to midpoint or cut point positions, select all, right click, copy, go to scale, go to position of text, select, press delete, then do a right click, then paste and click OK. You see my friends, it's very easy. Minitab actually not very much. It is a very easy tool. It helps you learn a lot. Other changes, whatever you want to make, go there, select whatever you want to make and do a double click. You can do the same things here as well. Don't like this title, you want your own title, so you can change the text here, you can change the color here. You want a bright color, let this be the bright color that you want. And you don't want histogram of torque, you just want histogram, right? So you click OK, your things are done. What you need to do is right click, copy graph, and where you want, you can paste the graph. I'll give you a brief of how you can find mean, median, mode, etc. of the data. You can go to stats, and from there go to basic statistics. My mouse is quite fast, so it will be of a problem for you sometimes, right? Display descriptive statistics. Once again, for variables we'll be selecting torque, and go to statistics, click there, click none so that all are unchecked. I would want mean of the data, I would want standard deviation of the data, I would want median and mode, and cumulative n means how many data points are there in the data. I'll click OK. If you want some graph also along with this, so you can just select whatever graph you want. I'll click OK. So here it shows that total number of data points are 68, mean is 21.26, standard deviation of 6.4, median is 20. It's a bimodal, so 15 and 17, two modes. 8 is the total number of digits for both, right? Because 2 are there. What we will do next is we'll close up and we'll meet for our next video on scatter plots. Thank you.